All right, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today is June 1st, Sunday, and we'll do a patch update, show you guys what we got going on in the patch. Stay tuned. Got the old hose out, hand watering, rotoball style. One nice thing about overhead or hand watering, it's almost like you're foliar feeding every time you water. So even if you are a drip irrigation person, I strongly urge to once a week go ahead and get in there and hand water at least. It's good for the old girls. Okay, we're going to start in on this side of the patch like normal. This is where we have the side-by-side slash back-to-back planted 2551 Ford. Still doing real good length. It's a little bit narrower of a plant, but overall secondaries look healthy. Everything's kicking out like it should. Do have the hovering vine, so all the little pieces of styrofoam, I do have good roots going between, again using the seed starter mix. The one I'm using, I believe it's the Costa Maine or something like that. It's the one that's used quite a bit in the northeast part of the United States. Just happen to have a bag and a half left over from when I did seed starting, and utilizing it here on the vines. So almost done with what I think I'll be utilizing across the patch. We'll see if I pick up another bag of something else, but I'm about a half a bag left just in what I have, so not too bad for what I have going on. Do have a pumpkin, I believe, somewhere around here. Yeah, there it is. Pumpkin right there. I don't think I'm gonna go with that one. I may pollinate it, but just counting back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 secondaries, 6 or 7 there. And I may end up trimming this one shorter just so I can swoop these back a little bit and keep the ones closer to the fruit longer. So I'll probably try and push it out to at least this area. That way I have a good 7, 8, 9 feet just in case I have to maneuver around a larger fruit. So may pollinate that one, may not, but realistically try and push something out here in this range. So moving on to the next plant, we'll circle around. It's the 2190 Bledsoe, and we'll probably do a full 360 because there's a few things to show on this one. Overall, plant is looking good, nice thick vine there. You see the main vine. Secondaries are even pretty thick, but I think there's a reason for it, and I'll show you in a minute. Secondary still kicking off real good there. Good color on the plant. Not a floating main, but still doing the seed starting mix just to encourage that bottom node. You'll see on this particular area on the main vine that the secondaries, see if I can super zoom in here 3 times, are not kicking off very strong. It's there, but it's not really doing a whole lot. If you go to the next one, it's as long or maybe a touch longer than that one. So something definitely going on there. So we'll back out a little bit, and I think I'll show you what's going on as a whole. So cold nights, maybe a little bit of genetics, maybe not. You can see this vine is super strong, and if I zoom in there, it was a ribbon slash double vine. You can see if you look from the top, it's actually fairly thin. So what I ended up doing is I used the skewers there, pinned it straight up and down. I'm going to try and bring it down to the ground, still utilize it because it's a strong vine, still very strong if you look at it. And not double nodes, but they're pretty close. This one was a double node, it looks like. And then what I did is I actually cut the tip so you can kind of see what's going on. You can actually see the double vine there on the end. I don't know if anybody's ever showed that part before, but there it is. So I deadheaded it. No point in keeping it. I wasn't going to try and force split it, and plus it's real close to that one stump. So deadhead it, I'll drop it, I'll try and root it, no issues. Next ones are fine, but then this secondary here that's a little weak, same as the one on the other side. So could have been the cold weather, That particular part of the plant does have a couple yellowish patches, so that could have been the cold weather during that time frame, kind of snapped it a little bit, or gave it a little bit of a shock, I should say. But overall, plant is healthy, kicking tail. Been doing probably 8-ish inches a day, and then I do have a fruit right there. Again, may pollinate it, may not. State Fair's kind of running close on that time, so I don't know, maybe I will run one of these. Haven't decided yet, but again, I like to get one out there. If I can get it out there, that'll give me 6 to 8 feet to play around with. We'll see what happens. Let's move on to the next few plants. Next plant we run up on is the 2560 Ginger. So this particular spot, I have never gotten a fruit to scale. So, it's been growing in this patch for 4 years, I believe, off and on, with a break on switching patches in 1 year. And either they pop or rot or something just always happens. So it's one of the reasons I put the 2550 or 2560 Ginger here is it has fairly consistent performance as far as getting fruit to scale, good fruit to scale. So like to see what we can do here. Plant's doing well. I would say it's kind of like that steady plant right now. It's not going anywhere crazy, but it's definitely a very steady plant right now. Thickness of vine has been pretty steady and good. I did have a fruit. I don't know if I picked it off. I might have already picked off. I did have a fruit near the tip. I already got rid of that one. Secondaries are kicking off nice. Again, I've got plenty of room to play with there. So that one there, we're going to probably push another 6 or 8 feet before we try and get a fruit set on it. But overall, 2560 doing well this week. Move on to the next plants. We're gonna walk over here. I would say this one is the number 2 plant in the patch right now, which is very surprising if you looked at the plants out the gate. This is the 2097 Kizemore. The plant has really just kicked on the last, I would say, week especially. It's been charging, but it's last week it's just been doing surprisingly well, almost to the end of its landing strip. Probably push a fruit somewhere out there, another 5 feet more. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish secondaries currently before the end of the mat, maybe 12, 13 secondaries before it hits the end of the mat. So I would say anything out there 4 or 5 feet past will be plenty good. Won't be long. What I do is, or I'm doing this year especially, is I'm swooping first 2 or 3 sets of secondaries back, and then I'll probably be deadheading them at this board. So this one will probably be right around 6-7 feet, that one 8 or 9, so on and so forth, and they progressively get longer. And hopefully that one that's 7th secondary out there will run all the way over here and be, 15-20 foot secondary, and so on and so forth. So just looking at the Kizemore stump, everything's looking real good there. A lot of good tap roots. Again, seed starting mix. Try not to get too much of that on top. I see a couple spots where it looks like either splashed up or washed, but definitely not trying to get the vines buried. Just getting it underneath, get that first bottom tap root going strong and going from there. Let's move over to the biggest plant we have, been the star of the patch probably since the plants have been in the hoop house, and that is the 1481 Bayuk. It's just been outpacing everything lengthwise. It's got a little bit longer internodal length, so length between the actual nodes has been a little longer, so it could be a reason for the length, but it does have a lot of secondaries as well, and it's doing quite well on secondary growth. So there is a fruit down there. Again, do I pollinate it? Do I not pollinate it? I don't know. We'll see. I may pollinate that one. I skipped the previous one. If you remember in my last video, I had one. I plucked it. I didn't pollinate it. So I may pollinate that one. That's to the back of the Kizemore over there. So I've got good 10-12 feet to play with. Get a fruit. I can always sweep the main one way or the other as well. So we'll see. As aggressive as it is, I'd like to keep her rolling and see what we can do as far as a longer fruit set, longer vine. Swooping the secondaries. Now this one, I got a lot of room back here to play with. So I've already terminated that secondary. That's in the 8-foot range. That one's getting close, so that one will probably be tomorrow. The next day I'll terminate, and then I'll run this guy, do the same thing. And probably about the third one, what I'll do is I'll start to split it off this way, and then the fourth I'll bring. So I'm gonna have very long secondaries in the middle of this plant is the plan. So we'll see how that works out. Stump area's looking good. I do plan on getting the stump covers and fans on this week, so this is typically the time I start putting them on. I'm getting a little bit of cracking in some of them. If you noticed, my weeds are a lot better this year. Overall, I did use that pre-emergent I talked about. I didn't say what kind it was. Again, I'm going to wait on it until kind of get through the growing season. Don't want to suggest anything that hurts rooting or anybody's plants. But if you look, any of the areas I put it, and I still haven't done anything as far as weeding, there's not much there. I've had to pick a few weeds intermittently or a couple grasses there over there, but for the most part it's been weed free. So what you will see though is in the plant I still have to do some weeding here and there. Kind of a, I don't know, a weird thing that I do, and maybe other growers have different things, superstitions or whatnot, but when I see clover I do pick some of it, but some of it, like, I'll leave around. It's not going to hurt the plant, it's not going to disease the plant, it's not going to do anything. So intermittently you might see on my videos random patches of clover here. I just leave them in. If they grow, I leave them in. That's just something I've always done. So if you see those, for me it's not a weed, it's a sign to leave it alone and move on. So that'll be the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Happy where I'm at in the patch so far. Again, I'm probably a little bit behind where I've been in previous years, but also with the cooler weather and the rain that we had over the last 3 to 4 weeks, I'll take it. So catch you guys on the next one. If you have a chance, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you're not already. Hit the notification bell if you want to see next week or future week's updates. Leave a comment below if you have any questions.